You are listening to the Boss Experience Podcast, a podcast with conversations about business growth, self-development, and maintaining a mindset to achieve business success. My name is Michele Davis, and I am a business strategist and coach, and I am your host. Let's get started. Welcome to the Boss Experience, the podcast that helps professional women turn their expertise into an online coaching business that replaces their 9-to-5 income. My name is Michele Davis, and I'm your host. In today's episode, I'm going to share with you why your to-do list is making you less productive in your business. When we think about to-do lists, we actually feel good when we get down on paper everything that we want to accomplish. But to-do lists actually trick the mind into thinking that by writing something down on a list with 100 other things or 50 other things or 25 other things makes us productive. So it tricks us, our minds, because we think because we have it on paper that we actually have a plan to make it happen. But the to-do list is not the same as having a plan. That's why one of the most important and effective things you can do for your business is have a schedule. Even if you haven't started your business yet, it's super important for you to have a schedule. So yes, a big part of being productive is knowing what to do. The schedule actually helps us do it. And I want to get into that in this episode because it's super important for people to be willing to commit that time when it comes to accomplishing their goals. And so in this case, if your goal is to start a business, if your goal is to grow a business, it starts with your commitment of your time to learn how to do it, to take action on what you learn. And so that is the starting point. And the reality is, long before you ever hire a coach to help you do anything, commitment starts with your time, because you can hire whomever, you can gather all the information you find online about getting your business started or growing your business, but you won't implement any of it if you haven't committed the time to do so. You're just finding things on the fly or as you're scrolling and talking about what you want to do, writing it on a to-do list, and even putting it on a vision board is not the same as taking action. Yes, use all of those tools, but you have to have a plan of action if you're going to be successful accomplishing your goal. Are you trying to turn your expertise into an online coaching business that replaces your 9-to-5 income? If so, tell me if this sounds familiar. You took a coaching certification class, but still don't know how to develop a coaching business or get clients. You bought a course only to never implement what you learned, or worse, you still don't know where to start. Or maybe you're struggling to piece together a bunch of free information you find online, hoping and praying for results, only to still be confused. The key to earning revenue in your online coaching business is having a process to get the right people contacting you about enrolling in your programs and services. You also need a coaching offer that gets results for your clients in addition to you being able to charge a premium price for your services. So if you need help putting these pieces together, my name is Michele Davis, and I am the host of the Boss Experience podcast, in addition to being a phenomenal business coach. And I created a free short video explaining where to begin when it comes to starting an online coaching business that replaces your 9-to-5 income. Just go to CEOBlueprintacademy.com to get instant access now. That's CEOBlueprintacademy.com. Okay, back to the show. And when I talk about, having this schedule and why the schedule is so important, your schedule is going to be able to put your life into perspective. What hours are you working? What hours are you available? When are you taking calls to enroll people into your coaching business? When are you taking time to do your marketing? And all of those things have to fit into everything else that's happening in your life. So you have people that are working 9 to 5. So you have people that have kid commitments. I have a kid commitment. My daughter just started college. Until she learns how to drive, I am her personal chauffeur, with me being her personal chauffeur and making sure she gets to her college classes on time. That means I have to make sure that my schedule allows me to do that so that I can continue to run my business, in addition to making sure that I show up for my personal commitments as well. And commitments to your children are your, highest priority. It's the reason that you are probably starting your business to begin with. Whatever the reason is that's motivating you to start your business, you want to make sure that those things that are a high priority to you, the things that matter most, are things that you're able to prioritize. So with me, unlike high school, with college, my daughter has to be in class different days, different times. And so it's a challenge if you don't have everything mapped out in the schedule. I have a single page schedule. I have it for every week because there's times that she's not in school that I can do more and do different things. So, that schedule has actually saved my life because I can modify, I can adjust it. Having a schedule is something I've always had, even before she was in college. And it has allowed me to be more productive. Number one, because I know what I'm doing because it's on the schedule and I know how I'm doing it. It's not just on a to-do list. I have it built into my schedule. So I know if Monday at 10:30 is my work time, I know that what I'm doing at Monday at 10:30. And then everything else kind of falls in place from there. So that daily schedule actually helps you know where you're showing up, what you're showing up to do, and how long you need to show up to do it. And that way you always know what you're doing. And so I want to share in this episode some key things to help you be able to create a schedule that's going to work best for you, right? That's going to help you be more productive in getting your business started, especially if you're working a 9 to 5. What ends up happening is you have to figure out how to steal time in an already busy day to make sure that your dream happens, to make sure that you do what's required to get your business started. And it's kind of hard to do that if you don't really have a sense of what's happening in your day, because there's a lot of things that you can do in your schedule, in your day, if you can identify those little pockets of time, right? If you could see in any given day when you can still 30 minutes, 15 minutes. Once you know where you can still time throughout the day, even if you're working a 9 to 5, you can be more productive because you know what you can plug in during that time. Creating a post, generating ideas for content. There's so many things you could do, which brings me to my first point, or the first tip I have about creating an effective schedule is know what it is you need to do. When we think about coaching, it's not just like showing up for program delivery, right? That's one thing. That's one aspect of our business. But we're doing so much more. We're doing mindset work, or we should be if you're not, and you're doing other coaching activities. It starts with, how are you waking up? Are you doing meditation? Are you doing prayer? Are you writing in a journal? Like, what are you doing? And mapping out our day from the time we wake up to the time we go to bed, making sure we allot that time that we need, for the things that are important to us, but also making sure that we know what it is we need to do in our coaching business. So some typical coaching activities that you need to have on your schedule if you're going to be starting your business is, your marketing time. What time are you spending on social media? What if it's short form video or long form videos are you creating? And I always recommend that you create long form and turn those into short form videos so that you maximize your time in your content creation process. It's also getting on the phone with prospective clients. It's answering questions about your business. It's marketing. So knowing what you need to do in your coaching business is super important, because once you know the categories, the big categories of what you need to do, then you can dive deep into the individual activities you need to do to help you accomplish whatever it is in that big category that you have to do. So if it's marketing, then you know that you're going to have to do some social media. You're going to have to do some videos. You're going to have to make posts. And so once you know what it is that you need to do, you can then outline the different tasks under that category so that you know what you need to do with that time. So if you have a lunch break and maybe you spend 30 minutes eating and kind of decompressing, then maybe you have another 30 minutes or another 15 minutes that you can get that video done, or you can map out your content topics for the next 30 days. It's all about knowing what you need to do, because that's the key to you being able to have time to do it, or even to allot time to do it. The other thing that you're able to do once you know the big categories that you need to tackle in your coaching business, and you know the different tasks and activities, is you get a deep understanding about how long it actually takes you to engage in those activities, to complete those activities. And once you know that, you know how to best incorporate it into your daily schedule. The last thing you want to do is, for someone to actually schedule time to meet with you and discuss working with you, and you have no idea how long it actually takes for you to speak to a client, or you have to cut that conversation short. If you do that, more than likely you're going to lose the client. They're not going to work with you. If you're going to close the client and enroll them into services, everything happens in that same call. Once they get off that call with you, your chances decrease in actually enrolling that person into your program or services, because they're going to get distracted. They're going to see someone else that they want to hear what they have to say, and it's going to be a wrap for you enrolling that person in your services. So be clear on your categories, know what tasks you need to do to fall under those categories, and know how long it's going to take you to engage in those tasks within your business, so that you can better understand what time you have available in your day to get you one step closer to getting your coaching business launched, or to growing your coaching business. So what I want you to get from this episode is there is a big difference between writing down that you need to create 30 content ideas, as opposed to I'm creating content ideas on Tuesday between 6 and 7. Big difference. So what I want you to do, if you're in the habit of writing these to-do lists, is actually scheduling that time into your calendar. And I like visual calendars so that you can see what's happening and what you're doing at any given period. Even if you're working a 9 to 5, there's minutes in your day that you can still, and it helps for you to know what it is that you need to do so that you can actually schedule a time or make room in your schedule to actually do it. So I hope this was helpful. Productivity is a big piece. Time management is a big piece for any entrepreneur to have a profitable and successful business. So with that being said, that concludes this episode. I hope you'll tune in next Tuesday for a new episode of the Boss Experience podcast. Thank you for joining me this week, and I can't wait for you to join me for a future episode of the Boss Experience podcast. Take care and be well. Thank you for tuning in to the Boss Experience podcast. Don't forget to leave a review for this episode and tune in next time.